Well, what's up, everyone? I want to thank you guys for joining me today. This is Nelson, and I want to take a few minutes of your time and just share with you one of the key that I have used to enhance my marriage, one of the key that I have used to grow my relationship with my wife and becoming and continue to becoming that great head of household. And here it is, communication, communicating. Most of us think that we know how to communicate. We think we have the answers to everything, and we just start talking. Ba 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 ba. We don't, and we don't give the other one a chance to tell their story so that we can have a clear understanding of what was happening and bring some closure to the solution, to the problem, that now we can move on in love again. A lot of times we just think that we are the one who is I'm so smart, you got to listen to me. And here I am, I keep talking and not waiting for an answer. Now, it says in the book of James, if you want to check this out, James 1:19 and 20, it says, my dear brother and sister, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak. Quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Because listen, you can be so quick, or we can be so quick to speak. We did not get the full story, and here we are angry and have to come up with an apology. And sometimes it can be rough because you already done back yourself into a hole, back yourself onto the wall, and you can't come out with nothing else with, but trying to come up with the best apology that you can come up with. And sometimes it might not be accepted. I'm not saying you should not accept it. We should be forgiven. We should forgive each other. But on a serious note, communication is a key that will take your marriage, it will take your relationship to a next level. You have to know how to communicate. You see, I get up early in the morning, Monday to Friday. I work Monday to Friday. I get up early in the morning, and most time I'm out of the house by maybe 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, sometimes four. It might be there's a few times when it's later than that. But I'm one of those people who love to get out early, get it done, and come back because there's other things that I want to do when I get home, other things that I'm working on. So I get up early in the morning. My wife might be still sleeping most of the time. So I'll do my meditation, I do my prayer, I gather my things together, I make my lunch bag, which I love to take with me from that experience that most of you might know what happened a few years ago over in Atlanta. Well, in Georgia, where we had so much snow, but right around Atlanta, it snowed so much that the traffic was stopped. Traffic come to a complete stop for over 24 hours. And I had to sleep in my truck on the road, on the highway, right there because it was ice everywhere, so much snow. But the good thing about it, I had my lunch bag, I had food, I had in my truck, I have two beds, bunk bed, down below, up on the top. I could sleep anywhere, anytime, anyhow. And I had water and I had heat. And with the diesel machine, you can run all day long. So I was in good shape. But I always carry my lunch bag because I want to have my snack. And there might be places that I go that there might not be a restaurant or any store there to buy anything to eat. And you don't know sometimes how long you're going to be there. So I'm always trying to be prepared. So when I get up early in the morning to make sure that is done, and when I get to my truck, I got to make sure that everything is checked out and legally ready to go. So I have the responsibility of doing that. So I have to make the time to do that. And with the body now, the body is like it is conditioned to that habit. Where even when I'm on vacation, even when I'm not doing anything, it could be on a weekend. Like now, I just get up at a certain time, 4 o'clock, my eyes, I'm open. So what I do, I'm so grateful for that. I just went into my meditation and I will probably reach over, grab my tablet, start reading. And whether it's a scripture, whether it's something positive that a book that I'm reading that helps me to grow and to evolve and to get better, to feed my mind and that things which is good and lovely, I read and I get myself together. Then I get up, I go and I brush up, and then I kept come back to bed because I have nowhere to go right now. We're not going out for breakfast or anything. We don't have a date, so I'll come back into bed and I will lay down and chill out, begin to meditate some more until my wife get up. She washed up, she come back to bed, and we began to have some good conversation because it's the weekend now. The time that I didn't have in the morning during the week, even though we communicate on our phone during the week. I will call and see how her day is going. She'll call and check on me and see how I'm doing. Even in the afternoon, if I'm running late, if I'm late, I'm still out there, she'll call and see how I'm doing, how I'm making out. That's communication because we eat dinner together. We love to sit down as a family and eat dinner together with our kids. We watch a little show or we just talk, but we love that kind of collaboration that we can spend that time together, and also becomes that light to our kids so that if they decide to have a family, that they will see how these things work and how it benefit them, and they might want to follow in that footstep also. So during the weekend, when I get back in bed, she get back in bed, and we just sit there and we talk. We find something to talk about, whether it's something positive from a book that we read, or it's a scripture or business. We find something positive that will help us. It might be something that you just have that you want to talk about and share with that person. That line of communication opens up everything. Well, it opened up you to be able to talk to your wife, and you also building trust. You also building trust because you find yourself now you can talk to her about anything, and she find that you are a person now. You becoming that person who you're not hiding anything. If there's something that is troubling you, there's something in the marriage that you need to talk about, even with the kids, even with between the two of you. If there was some kind of miscommunication, if there was some kind of anything that went out of line, you can bring it to the forefront right there and just have a wonderful communication, wonderful conversation. I find myself now to the point when I finish having that conversation with my wife, I begin to tell her, baby, I just really enjoy just talking to you because you feel so free, you feel so liberated, you feel so good that you can come and you can talk to your partner, you can talk to your significant one about anything. Sometimes it's a good opportunity to even talk about business plan, business goals, ideas. It's a good idea where you can lay down and you could just share something that's on your heart, something that you feel good about. Communication is one of the key that will take your relationship to a next level. But you have to be willing and open to allow that person to talk. Sometimes you might have that urge where you want to jump in, but a good listener is a part of a good communication, a good conversation, because you want to be able to respond to what has been said and respond in a good and positive way. So communication is one of the key that if you apply it, if you practice it, I promise you that your relationship will be taken to another level, not just between yourself and your wife or your partner or whoever it is, but between yourself and your kids. And also, you are practicing that when you go to work, wherever you go, whatever whoever customer that you're dealing with, you'll be able to listen and be able to communicate back and forth with them. A few days ago, I went to a customer and they rescheduled the pickup and I had to bring everything back. But before I leave that customer, before I left coming back, we had a wonderful conversation to the point. It's a customer that it's a business that is going out of business. And we had such wonderful conversation. I wasn't angry. Nobody was angry. We're just talking and I asking them, hey, what you guys do? I look at the material and we begin to have a wonderful conversation to the point that next thing I know, they're giving me gifts for free. So you see, when you practice communication, it can take things not just your relationship, but not just the relationship with your wife, but your relationship with your clients, with your customer to another level that it would benefit you and benefit them. Here's the question though. What is the power of communication in a marriage? And I mentioned a little bit about it earlier. You see, better communication between you and your partner or between you and your spouse can lead to a more trusting relationship. You can trust each other because you see, my wife can trust me that I can talk to her about things, whether it's a text message, whether it's a incident at work. It doesn't matter. There's things that I can go and I can talk to her about. I'm not bringing work home to say, well, every little incident that, oh, somebody cut me off. Oh, this one said that. Oh, I was having a conversation. Not that. I'm talking about positive things that can help us to grow, because you don't want to plant negative seed in your mind, or in the mind of your spouse. Every day you come home, you have something negative to say, or what someone said and how they talk about that one and this one. I don't want to plant those seeds. Whatever nugget that I'm bringing, it have to be something that can help each one of us to grow, to help both of us to grow. It will be a seed that you plant, that when you water it, that it can grow and it helps you to evolve. You see, when my wife began to talk about certain things, and I lay down and I just close my eyes and I listen, and there's so many different ideas begin to flow, because she gave me a piece she gave me an idea that now begins to open up other avenues, and it began to benefit me. But if we are not communicating, if I'm not listening, if I'm just ready to jump in all the time, I could miss something that is so vital. So when you communicate with your spouse, when you communicate with your partner, when you communicate with whoever you are with, it open up and it begins to make the marriage now, it trust, you begin to grow, you begin to trust one another. And that's a good thing, because if you're not communicating, sometimes in the past, my mind would have been, I wonder what she thinking, wonder why she's not saying this, I wonder why she's not. You begin to you allow all these wonder why, and they can be very negative, that can lead to something else. But when you can communicate with one another openly, you'll find yourself begin to trust one another. It is a key, and it is vital to your growth in your relationship. It is vital for your relationship to grow. Communication. Here's another one, and I already read this. I was getting ahead of myself, and I was going to ask, what did the Bible say about communication? It said, slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to speak, because you're going to get the whole story. How many times I myself have listened to someone said something about, maybe it's a celebrity or someone else, and I already jumped on the bandwagon and began to despise those people. How many times I've did that in the past? I've done it in the past, but I now I understand. Quick to listen, slow to speak, so you can get the whole story. And when you get the whole story, then you can make a decision. Then you can make a decision and you can say what you have to say. And it will be the right thing, I promise you. But when you're quick to speak, because you didn't take time out to evaluate, you didn't take time out to search or to seek or to get the facts straight, it can cause a lot of problem in relationship, whether it's between a friend, whether it's also it can be between a spouse. Because if you don't understand something, you hear it, ask, because the line of communication is open, the trust is there. They say, babe, what did you mean by that? And when you ask that, then she can answer, she can respond, and here it is, as clear as day, and love begins to flow again. But if there's no communication, there's going to be a lot of assuming. And when you assume, it can be wrong. And when you're wrong, it can cause a lot of problem. And you will have an unhappy relationship. So I practice communication. I had to practice that. I've said before, I was in a broken marriage. I'm not blaming anyone, pointing the finger at anyone. I'm not a victim. But I'm telling you, the things that I've learned, I use those things, I add to it. I add to it that it helps me to see where I needed to change or to renew my mind or to change some things and to apply the new one. Because like I said in another video, you cannot put new wine in old wineskin, or else it will burst that wineskin, it will destroy that wineskin, and guess what happened to your new wine? Underground. Underground, it will cost you a lot. So you got to come in with the new wine and new wine skin. In other words, I recognize where I was erring. And what I do, I change. I renew my mind. I change direction. And now I can apply this new thing. in this new relationship that make it bombastic. That's big, right? Now, I want to give you 6 things for you to think about that can help your relationship to go to another level. Again, you can check out also my course at nelsonrobinsonsenior.com. My course is there. If it's something that you like, you want to work with, we can work together. There's nothing that we can't do together. And if you just need a free 30 minutes to talk to me, send me an email. My email will also be on the screen. Let's communicate together, and then we'll figure something out, because I love to help other people. I love to give. They say, give and it shall be given back unto you. You don't have to worry about that, because the word will always fulfill itself. It will never fail. So I always love to put it into practice. I always love to practice it, because I know when you practice, you're going to get results. So here it is. I want to talk about I want to give you 6 points that you can use, and you can apply it to your life, to your marriage, and I promise you, you will see some changes. The first one is discuss the little problem. You might think it might be too small. Well, I'm not going to, but guess what? It will keep coming up if you don't discuss it. If you don't deal with it, it will keep coming up. And if you keep to push it or to sweep it under the mat, I'm telling you, it's going to grow into something else bigger. Just like dirt, you keep sweeping it, it might look like level, nobody see it. After a while, you keep pushing it under there, it's gonna give you that big contour. Somebody gonna recognize it. You're gonna recognize it. Somebody trip over it, maybe you. So discuss the little problem. There's nothing too small to handle. Remember, sometimes a little crack in the wall, if it's not taken care of, the crack will keep getting bigger, and then you're gonna have problem. You will have problem. Number two, don't discuss past mistake. Do not discuss past mistake. It's like open up a can of a worm. What's in the past, leave it in the past. Don't bring it. It's like bringing baggage with you into a new relationship. What's in the past is in the past. Dwell on the now. What's here now, and the new thing, you deal with that. In the past is the past. Number three, don't accuse your partner. Yes, all of us, I think it's okay to say all of us has somehow have experiences where we have missed the mark, but that doesn't give us a right to accuse that person. You see, when I was a child, I act like a child. I do things as a child. I reason as a child. Now I'm mature. I'm changing. I change and I'm doing things different. See me for who I am now, that new man. See me for who I am now. Look at me from that way. I'm gonna look at you from the renewed mind where you at today, not the past, the old man. I'm looking at you from the new man. So if I can see you that way, if I can see my wife that way, as this new person, I'm not gonna accuse her of her past. I'm not gonna bring up the past. I'm not gonna accuse my partner of doing this and that. I have to take responsibility also for my action. It's so easy for us to say, well, Johnny made me do that. You hear it all the time. Well, the devil make me do this and the devil make me do that. No one make you do anything. You do it. You choose to do it, and you did it. Number four, don't compare your partner with others. This is a big one. Oh my goodness. You hear people saying, oh, she can't cook like my mother. Look, your mother is your mother, your wife is your wife, your partner is your partner, whoever it is. Do not compare your partner with others. Be accept them for who they are today. That's who they are. This new person, who they are. It's like you are unique, they are unique. I can't compare myself with another man. I am unique. I am special. His habits, his skills, that's his skills. My habit, my skills, that's my skills. Do not compare your wife to your ex or to anyone else, because it's like you're opening up a old can of worm, I should say. You open up a can of worm again. Accept them for who they are, because they are unique. And remember, if they are falling short in a certain area of life right now, because we're living in the now, you can work on that now. You can work on that situation there and help it to grow and to become better. And they will be the best that they can be. But do not compare. Do not do that. Number five, do not threaten to break up. That's another thing. When you threaten to break up, oh, I'm going to leave you. Don't even let, if it cross your mind, plug that seed up. Kill that seed before it grows. Because you see, when you say things like that, you are creating distrust. Distrust. You're going to make that person think that every time something happens, it's like you're going to flee. You're going to go, or you gone. But if you discuss what you discuss in a rational manner, and the thought comes up, even if you're angry, I love what the Bible said. Yeah, this is a good one. Angry, but sin not. Angry, but sin not. You could get angry, calm yourself. You are in control. Even if you have to say, can I just sit for a minute? Can I go for a walk and come? Whatever you got to do, you know what will work for you. Do not threaten to break up. It will be like a scar. You cut, the scar will be there. Number 6, do not threaten to spill what happened in your relationship. Do not do that. Oh, I'm going to share this picture. Oh, I'm going to tell everybody. Oh, I'm going to tell my mom. You're going to tell your mom this, and you're going to tell your family that, and you tell your family this and that. Next thing you know, your family begin to look at your wife in a different way. Your family begin to look at your wife in a different way because you're angry. You go and you tell all these things, your personal relationship, your business. You're going to tell your business, I should say, your personal business to everybody, including mama, daddy, family. And now they begins the one that's supposed to love her and supported her as family. Now they begin to look at her from a different angle. And it's all because of what you said. It's all because of what we said. The picture that we painted now has been so distorted that they begin to despise her. Do not threaten to spill, and do not go and tell your business to everyone else. If you need help professionally, find someone that you know that can help you, whether it's a coach like myself, whether it's another coach, whether if it depends on what it is, if it's something that medically or that you need to get the right help, I should say. But be careful who you are relating your business to. Be careful with that. So again, this is Nelson. I can go on all day, but I would keep sharing my experience with you. I would love to work with you guys. I mean, if there's anything you want to enhance your relationship, you want to build your relationship, you want to change and break some habits that you have, you want to evolve into that better you, that man that God desires for you to be, to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Reach out. Let me know. There's my email there. Just send us a line and we will be sure to get back with you, and we can set up something where we can work together or have a free consultation that we can talk about it, because I want for you what I would want for myself, the best, because I believe that you deserve the best. You are here to live a rich and prosperous life. A lot of us, we don't understand it, we don't know it, we don't know how to tap into it. Like that man I told a story who went on the ship. He watched those people eat all that wonderful food, eat all that food in the dining room. He brought his bag, never went in there, never asked any question, paid for his ticket. He found out in the end that the food was included in the ticket. He could have enjoyed all that, but he did not know. And goes back to what the scripture said also, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Brothers, sisters, this is a serious business. You are here to enjoy life. You can have it and have it more abundantly. The only one who can stop you is you yourself. You yourself. God said to choose this day. You choose. What do you want? I'm waiting. Talk to me. I love you guys. Peace, and I'm out. This is Nelson.